Hi everyone, Layla here with Active Learning. Today I wanted to cover a topic which can be quite broad, but I feel like it's a very important thing to talk about for kids, for teens, for adults, for all humans in general. It's the importance of reading books. So whether it's physical books, electronic books, books online, there's a whole ebooks, audiobooks, anything that involves literature is important to be exposed to and to expose kids to, especially. And I find that in the particular time that we're living in, a lot of kids, they would rather do something else, aka play video games or play on their computer or phone, than actually read books. And it's affecting them, and they obviously don't even realize it, but it's important that the parents or their teachers or whoever it is that they are being raised by, or wherever they're spending most of their time, they see that those people are also reading books. It's not just important because it looks cool or you can post a nice picture on Instagram or whatnot. It's actually important for the child's development or for the adult's development, anybody's brain development, cultural development, worldview development, mind development. So we hear, for example, a whole ton of books. As you can see, there's more over here, more at home. It's very, very important. So I actually didn't like reading books until a few years ago. And I think I just wasn't exposed to the right types of books that I liked. But once I started actually reading books, I understood how important it is. And with all of our kids, all of the kids that we have, we make sure that they're always reading books. Now, I'm not saying you need to be like a total bookworm and a book nerd and read books all your life, but you need to make sure that you're reading at least one book a month, okay? Especially for kids, we read at least for 15 minutes during the class, because I don't know if they're reading at home, how much they're reading at home. So if they're here, at least I know that they're reading a little bit. It's important, one, because it improves your language. I find that kids, not even talking about French, talking about English right now, kids don't know how to properly, one, use an apostrophe. I find that some adults even don't know how to use an apostrophe, and it's a very simple, basic grammatic rule. Kids don't know how to spell. Now that has something to do with them typing instead of writing. They don't know how to spell, so they don't know how to read certain words because they look and sound the same. So they don't actually know how to properly use their vocabulary. Another problem is the lack of vocabulary. They use very simple words, or they use the same type of words without knowing synonyms, or how we can say something in another way. Another issue is that they simply don't understand the different perspectives. So if they've been exposed to a certain game or a certain phone program, whatever it is, certain video game, they're very narrow-minded in that sense. So I find that reading books, different types of books, I have to emphasize, not a specific genre from a specific author, but across all different areas and cultures, especially in a country like Canada, helps kids just understand that there are other things that are okay in the world and other things that are possible in the world, and it helps them open up their mind in general. So, for example, even with my teenagers, like with my teen students, I find that giving them books that are different than what they're used to reading, and then talking about it, because we always talk about it. When they read something, we always discuss. I'm always interested to know what they think about it, what their opinion is, how they see it, and just to analyze what's going on in the story. I find that very interesting, and it actually makes the student's brain work instead of just passively sitting there like a zombie and absorbing whatever the teacher has to say. I want to hear what they want to say. So if they're reading a book and it's not something that they were expecting, or it's from a different culture, or it has different, just morals than what they're used to, and when we end up talking about it, their initial reaction may be that, this is different, this isn't something I'm used to. But later, as we talk about it, I try to explain that this is okay in certain cultures, certain countries. So kind of helps them become more accepting of different ways of living, different perspectives, but it also opens up their mind in general, which I think is one of the most freeing and rich experience that you can give to a child or to a learning body. It's to open up their mind and not just shut it down in a cage. And with adults as well, a lot of adults just kind of stick to what they know, stick to their genre. But I find that reading different books helps them understand the world. And the biggest emphasis that I always put on it, books, literature, whether it's on our phones, it's the news, articles, everything is online now. Nobody reads newspapers anymore because it's all online. But I find that reading different types of books and actually analyzing them helps people not be brainwashed. Literature is one of the biggest ways how we control thought in a society. And it's something I think that most people will agree with, and we can see this from the news. Most people will believe whatever's on the news. Most people will believe whatever's on social media, even if it's not true. They don't actually know what's going on, but they will believe it because they don't know how to analyze it. So what I teach my kids and teens and whatever, everybody, is when you read something, critically analyze it. Can I trust this? Is this valid? And when you have experience in reading different types of literature and you're exposed to so many things, you can pull apart what's going on and how to analyze it. And if it's true, should I trust it? What's the point of view? It sort of makes you more aware, just a smarter, more acute citizen in general, which I think is very important in this day and time. So I always emphasize on reading books, whether it's to a 5-year-old or to a 45-year-old, it doesn't matter. It helps not only develop our vocabulary, but our mind as well.